Now it's time for Straight on the Point with Jesse T. from some undisclosed location somewhere in the world. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here's Jesse T.
Well. It's good to be back with you. The Brown Beauty is back on duty, and we just lost everything on the microphone. I can see that. Or are we doing? No, everything is gone. So I don't know what we're doing, but I'm going to keep talking, baby. The interesting thing that we were talking about here, I'm here with Alejandro de Hoyos. Hey, Alejandro, still got nothing coming through here.
There it is. You had a little short going on. My goodness. When everything fails. You know that? It's a cascade of things that happen.
Just keep trying.
You just got to keep plugging away at it and keep talking. In fact, there's a funny story. I'll tell you about it in a little while. But we were talking about some real estate. But let's get back to the beginning here. It's good to have you back with me. Yes, we are here, and I am now live and in person on the Jesse T Show every day of the week, Monday through Friday from 5 to 6. The Brown Beauty is back on duty, on the air and everywhere, from the community to the world. We are going to have a good time today. Oh, yes, we are. I know you already see him on screen, this handsome gentleman to the right of me. I am not going to tell you his name. No, I'm not going to tell you. Alejandro de Hoyos is sitting next to me. I'm not going to say that. He's not here. Wait, did I just blow it? I did.
I'll say it myself.
Oh, you say it yourself.
Alejandro de Hoyos.
Oh, I like that. Say that again.
Alejandro de Hoyos.
I'm going to learn some Spanish now. Alejandro de Hoyos.
Perfect. See?
That is beautiful. I like that. Absolutely. Well, we're going to get into Alejandro de Hoyos. I mean, not get into him, but we're going to.
Please.
Yes, I'm already putting my foot in my mouth, aren't I, Lee? Yes, that's right. I start fast.
The foot. That's all right.
Well, you should see me put 2 feet in my mouth. That's a funny sight. Oh, Lord, help me.
Well, it's that kind of show.
Yeah, no, I don't know what kind of show it's going to be, but it's going to be a show, that's for sure. Absolutely. But anyhow, I'd like to thank everybody who's checking in with us on Facebook.com/Jesse Terrero. And, of course, Straight on the Point and The Power of Voices on Facebook. And we also are checking in with Instagram. Our Instagram folks are checking in with us as well at Jesse Terrero, Instagram Live. Okay, also on our YouTube channel, Jesse Terrero. So it's good to have you there with us as well on Blogger and Google Plus and Pinterest and Read It and Diggy and Periscope. And sometimes we get on live stream, but they're acting kind of wacky these last few days. They're really raising their fees this last couple of months. So we're making a decision whether or not we're going to be on live stream. So those of you who are still on live stream with us, we may have to take you over to one of our other sites. But we are on the air and we are everywhere today. It is, of course, another beautiful day in Southern California. It is really beautiful. The seasons are changing. The nights are a little bit cooler. The days aren't quite as hot, and I like that. This is the perfect time of the year, and it's the perfect time of the year as we move to the end of the year that we start getting a lot of new movie releases, a lot of independent producers making movies, a lot of new television programs coming out, and that's why Alejandro de Hoyos, I got it right.
You got it right.
Absolutely. I told you I can get a few things right every now and then. Yes, right. He's in the air with me kind of effervescently here. And we're also on live, and we're on radio at www.thepowervoices.com. Good to have you along,
Thank you for having me. It's great.
It's going to be really an interesting learning experience, because I know you're going to bring a lot to this interview, because you're going to tell me some things that I don't know, and I'm very interested in finding out, especially your career. You've been around a while. A lot of people don't know that. But you've been around and making films and making TV programs and doing a lot of stuff. But primarily you've been in the Hispanic marketplace, the Latino marketplace. And my goodness, hasn't that exploded? I mean, that's not the other marketplace anymore.
Right.
That is like the marketplace.
Yeah. Now it is like the other white meat.
Yeah, right. I read a book about 6 months ago that it said in America, the new white is brown. Isn't that a catchy title? And it's so true because the culture and the language, and we've had such a large immigration base come over to America in the last 50 years, that it's changing, and a lot of people from Mexico and Central America are now really becoming what America is today and in the future. And that is a lot more of that North American, Central American kind of bloodlines. Yeah. Not so much over the seas.
Yeah.
It's kind of all coming back to home, isn't it?
Yeah. It's very interesting because we were talking about the Treaty of Guadalupe.
Yeah. When California became part of the United States, 1843 to 47.
It's very interesting because California used to be Mexico, as you know.
Right.
And it used to be called Alta California.
That's right.
Which is the name of my production company, Alta California. And I was born in Baja California.
Oh, you were?
In Ensenada.
Oh, right.
So Baja, in the old days, it used to be Baja California, Alta California.
Right.
Now it's just called, Americans call it Baja.
Yeah.
Baja.
Right.
But they don't understand that it's the lower part of California.
It really is.
And what California
It's the extension of California down into that region. Yeah. It really,
it's like
it really
north
is.
and south.
Essentially, that's kind of where the north and south was originally, because you'd come up away from the desert area, which is a lot of desert down there, and then you come into more vegetation and as you move south or north into California. And the Spaniards, of course, were before the Mexicans, and the French were in there too, and the Portuguese were in there. And what a lot of people don't realize, on the Gulf of Mexico, on the east side, a lot of Germans, a lot of Italians, a lot of Spaniards, of course, and there's a whole different kind of collection of folks, sort of like what even America is like in terms of both parts of the country.
The big cities are more like that. I lived in Mexico City for like 3 years. I'm from there. But I was there for 3 years. And a lot of Germans, a lot of blue-eyed, blonde, tall,
Yeah, I can never go back to Mexico.
Why?
They
don't let you in?
No, I can't go back there. No, they won't. No. In 1993, they told me never to come back.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They said if you...
92?
93.
93.
Yeah. 93, 94. They said, Jesse Torero.
No more.
Don't ever come back.
No regreses nunca más.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah. They said, no. Look, I had a couple of groups, and one of the groups was performing in Tijuana. And the Policia got paid off, but the promoter didn't pay off the Federales. And there was a big fight going on between who really ran Tijuana. We didn't know this. We were just going in there performing. We had a #1 hit dance song, right? And so, but my guys got wrapped up in a sting, and they shut down this whole nightclub, and they took like 1,000 people away, because some of the nightclubs over there are huge. Yeah. And they took 1,000 people away. All the green buses showed up out in the parking lot, and I just happened to go outside to get some D9 batteries for the cordless microphones, because one of the microphones went dead, just sort of like kind of what happened here. And ran out and got a battery for one of the guys, and all of a sudden this swoop down happens. I sink down in the van. They get picked up. They get taken to the Tijuana police station, which is no place that you want to be. Right. And
sorry, what are the green buses?
Those army buses.
Oh, okay.
The Federales came down and swooped down.
Mexican.
Yeah, the Mexican Federales.
I didn't even know they had.
Yeah, they had green buses. These like green.
This is in Tijuana.
Yeah, Tijuana, right? And so what happened is the promoter didn't pay off all the right people. Okay, and that's really the crux of it. I got away, but I really didn't get away because they let me get away because they knew that I would go get some money to get my guys out, which I did. But I shackled down the promoter in San Ysidro and shook him down for some money to get my guys out. And then it used to be not like it is today. You could just walk across a bridge. I mean, it was easy to go from Mexico to America, America to Mexico. Underneath, you would go on the ground and you'd come back across the bridge. I mean, that's how it was before they redesigned it. And there was just a glass door between the two countries right there. And so I brought the bag full of money, and the guy said, no, you come here. I said, here's the money. No, you come here. Money. No, you come. So I had to go with the money, and I got put in a room with two guys with M16s, and I sat there for 8 hours, and he took the money and he counted it, and he came back, and then he lectured me. And he had blonde hair, and he had blue eyes, and he spoke English like I'm speaking now, and he was an FBI guy, a federale, right? A federal police, right?
Oh, Mexico.
Mexico. And they said, we let you go. We knew you would go and get some money, and don't ever come back to my country again, because if you do, you might not go home. So I never went. It's been since 1993.
You're good.
No, because
I'll take you.
No,
we'll go together.
You're going to get me in trouble. That's what's.
I'll get you in trouble, but not with the federales.
I tell you, well, I don't know about that. I'll come home to big kind of trouble if that happens. Mama T, she'll give me double trouble.
Oh my God,
man! But no, seriously, this guy probably had a kid who's my age now, and I'll be flying Aeromexico at 30,000 feet. The plane will crash. Everybody will die. I'll be still stuck in my seat. He'll come out in the middle of the desert, like by Obregon or Hermosillo. He'll come out in the middle of the desert, dig me up out of the dirt, and he'll go, Torero, wait a minute. My dad told me about you. You're not going back to America, son. Right? That's going to happen to me. I know it. Anyway,
all right.
That's my story. So no, it's a funny story, but that connection now with entertainment is so strong, and it is growing so fast. Just in Los Angeles alone here, there are multiple radio and TV stations now that are playing all the soap operas and the movies, and the technical aspect of the movies, the independent producers like yourself, the movies are really great. I mean, if you speak Spanish and English, the entertainment is so wonderful, and it's so cool to be a part of that, because you're like the first wave.
Yeah, 30 years ago when I first came to this country, there were only 3 stations,
Mm-hmm.
2 national stations and 1 local.
Right.
I don't know if I can say them.
Yeah, you can say them.
Yeah, you had Univision,
Right.
Telemundo, and Canal 22.
That's
Channel
all you
22.
had.
That's all you had.
Right.
And then they did. They had another cable.
Yeah.
I forgot what the name is.
Public service cable or something like that, right?
Some cable, yeah.
And look where
That
it's
was
come,
it.
man.
And now I look for Spanish TV stations. There are dozens, hundreds.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's hundreds.
Yeah.
A lot.
What's it like to be on the forefront of that explosion, that wave that's taking America?
Well, it's very interesting because I don't know. Well, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a businessman. I've been a businessman since I was very, very young. So I got into acting when I was 30.
A late
I
start.
already had
Yeah.
a restaurant. I had other businesses. I had failed, like I was telling
Yeah.
you.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Failed
yeah.
and,
Sure.
and gotten different businesses. And then something happened where I went with somebody.
Right.
I actually went with my wife because
Yeah.
she wanted to be an actress to an audition. And the casting director saw me and she liked me. And she said, "Can he audition?"
Well, who wouldn't like this face? Look at this face.
This is when I was 30.
I mean,
this
come
is
on.
a long time
Look,
ago. Jesse.
okay, a
Yeah.
long time ago in a
long time
galaxy
ago.
far, far
Yeah.
away, right?
30,
But
yeah.
look, can you imagine his face at 30? Heck, I would fall in love with you. Gosh darn it, I'll wear a blonde
Yeah,
wig.
you're making me right. Anyway,
Go ahead.
So, that's when I started acting, 30. But I was already a businessman.
Yeah.
So, over the years, I did 200 commercials and plays, and I was doing a lot of commercials.
Wait. How many commercials?
Over 200.
Say that again.
Over 200 commercials. Yeah.
That hurts
I-
me.
I-
I did like 25 commercials in my lifetime.
No, I would do 20 commercials a year.
God.
At least. Yeah,
Oh, man.
15. 20.
Nice.
When I did 10, it would be like, oh, this is a slow year. But you know what this is not a problem, but you know what the issue is?
What?
I would do a commercial in English and in Spanish at the same time. The Spanish would pay me like 10% or 15% compared to what the English commercial.
Yeah, you'd get
paid.
the after SAG rate or whatever with the
Well, it was
English.
still SAG. You
Yeah.
get paid for the
Right.
for the day.
Right.
But the residuals for the
Right.
Spanish speaking, because it was considered cable. When in
Right.
reality, if it was Univision, or only
That's a
3
major
stations,
network.
So they were all over.
So they kind of had a monopoly on what they could dish out and pay and how
and
to pay.
it's
right?
still the same. You don't make the same money
Right.
with the Spanish. That's
Really?
Oh yeah, no, like 20-30%.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. With all the TV channels
it's
and
still
all
SAG,
the
but it's
Yeah.
cable
Yeah.
is always considered, less.
But you had to see, that's one of the advantages. You could do the Spanish and the English, and get double pop. You get a double pop. 2 profit centers right there.
When they say, no, we want your action. It's fine.
We like it. You're like the new Fernando Lamas, man. Right? You know. I don't know. I'll tell you.
Anyway, so yeah, over the last few years, I've been building different companies, and
Right.
I'm still very active. So the acting has always been like on the side, and then
Right.
I booked something. I started, and then a couple of years ago, I said, you know what? I'm gonna produce my own film. You know, because I would go to auditions, and people were always complaining about
Right.
why don't they hire us? You know, there are not enough Latinos here. There are not enough Latinos there. And I said, hey, let's do our own thing. Why
Right.
are we waiting for the white producers to hire us? Let's do our own thing.
Right.
And got together with a friend of mine, a director,
Right.
the writer Jojo Henriksen. He had this movie, and I said, let's do it. Jumped in.
You know, that's a risk.
Everything's a risk.
Isn't it scary you though?
Relationship is a risk. You know,
Yeah, that's true.
driving in LA is a risk.
Oh, so that's more than a risk.
Yeah.
That's like suicidal.
Yeah. No, like I was telling you, I have lost a lot of money in different businesses, and I made money in other businesses. But everything, you're an entrepreneur. You're gonna take a lot of risks.
Yeah, you have a
always.
desire. You just got to do something. You got to keep doing it, and you couldn't be at a better time to be producing independently because one, the studios don't control everything like they used to 30, 40, 50 years ago. My grandfather did 51 years at Warner Brothers. My dad did 37 years at 20th Century. I know it sounds like a prison, but a prison sentence, but that's how it was then back in those days. But now it's completely different. So it allows the opportunity for people like you to have an idea, a good script or whatever, to be able to get your product made and to get it out there and distribute it. I mean, you were telling me about something that you did at the Egyptian. It was a packed house.
Yeah, we had a nice screening just for the casting crew. Some celebrity friends and things like that. We had 700 people. It was packed.
That's filling up the Egyptian.
Yeah. 700 is a lot of people to go see, and it was very successful. People were crying, people were laughing. It's a drama. It has a lot of meaning. This movie has a few,
And what's the name of it?
It's called El Contratista, which means the contractor.
Yeah, is that like a killer?
Yeah,
contractor.
Yeah,
right?
like a mercenary.
Yeah, right.
Contractor.
Yeah, an assassin.
Yeah,
right.
Well, yeah, it's somebody who works for you could be an assassin for the government.
Oh, sure.
Contractor,
The IRS is like an assassin to me. I mean, the state of California Franchise Tax Board is man. They got
my goodness,
man. They got a scope on me everywhere I go.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's terrible. Yeah. Don't worry. People call me when I'm on the air. I don't know why. I never get any calls.
Well, you're popular.
But when I'm on the air, people want to call me. I don't know what it is.
It's good that you keep it on. That way the audience know that
we're
you're
live.
Important. That exactly. People are interested in talking to you.
Important.
Yeah.
Yes. Please give me a job. Please.
Actually, Jesse, I didn't want to tell you, but I butt dialed you.
Oh.
Yeah. No.
See, that's what I get. I get the call from the crack of his ass. Right? That's what I get.
A man's got to do what a man's got to do.
Gee, thanks,
gotta
man.
answer.
Did you use some soap last night at least?
Yeah, every single day. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Got worried there for a second. Okay. So we got a trailer we're going to play here, and this is from your film.
This is from my film.
Okay, and it's all about sort of a hitman movie kind of thing, but it's got comedy and drama.
It's somebody who was in the military,
right?
As a contractor,
right?
They go and support the CIA, or they go and support other. And he didn't like what was going on in Iraq, so something happens there. So he decides to flee and create his own company, security company. So he goes to protect this little boy whose family just got killed. You'll see some of the explosion.
Oh man, this
we don't know who and why they killed the family and why the boy was.
And that's the story.
And why was the boy not included in that? What happened?
Very cool. Are you ready to go with that? All right, let's hook it up right here on the Jesse T Show.
That's one. That's one.
Let him go.
I said get back to your post. Went back.
Mi conciencia no me permite continuar aquí.
Cano, si tú no te quedas, nosotros tampoco.
¿Y si tienes un lugar así violento y jodido para unos malandros así como esto?
¿Qué te parece México?
El niño perdió a toda su familia. Como le comenté, ha sido muy difícil para él.
Alguien quiere deshacerse del niño.
Los entrenamos para matar. Los entrenamos para morir sin que se dieran cuenta.
El pobre niño no socializa mucho.
¿Has matado a alguien?
¿Usted se cree capaz de juzgar a esta gente? Yo no.
Te lavan el cerebro con falsos discursos de amor a la patria.
El cártel nos tiene aquí acorralados.
Tengo amigos en el gobierno. Si quieres les hablo, que nos apoyen.
Eso ya no sirve de nada a esta altura.
¿Vas a matar a más malos?
Cúbrenos.
¿Por qué vienen todos vestidos como que van a la guerra?
Acabamos de regresar de una. ¡Erasmo!
Todo ha sido una mentira.
¿Qué dice? ¿Estamos atrapados? Hay un pequeño grupo de hombres armados bloqueando la salida.
¿Qué vamos a hacer?
Necesitamos eliminar las riquezas por medio de estas pinches putas guerras.
Oh, boy. I like that a lot. I really like that. We're going to play that again in about 10 or 15 minutes, Lee. That was really good. That is really good.
I like it.
That looks like a $20 million budget.
It is.
Man.
It is. It is like a 20 minute, but it's not.
I was going to borrow $25. I'm still trying to get $25 from somebody. It's been a week. I haven't gotten it yet. I'm trying, but no, that the production value of that is the camera shot, the lighting. We
had an
it's
amazing
cool.
DP and an amazing group in Ensenada where we shot.
Yeah, the location is just perfect. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of a little bit of two of my favorite movies, Sicario, the whole series 1 and 2.
Right.
Because I love him as an actor. He is he's paid the dues so long, and he's just finally getting the due he gets as an actor. And Man on Fire with Denzel Washington. That sort of has that kind of feel to it, you know. It's and those are
we've heard that before.
I bet you have. Yeah, and that's really cool. I mean, this was your friend's idea, his script, right?
That's his script. Yeah, that's why it said from the writer of Ladrón que roba ladrón. Is a movie that Lionsgate, Pantaleon released, I don't know, like 10 years ago, and he was the writer. My friend was the writer, and it did really, really well.
Right.
Here and also in Mexico, Latin America.
Yeah, it's going to do real well. I bet you're getting a lot of good response from that.
We have had really good reviews. You know, like I said, it's action, but it's drama. It has some comedy, but it's like it's not comedy like silly, stupid comedy.
Right.
It's like out of nervousness.
Right.
Funny at the situation. I like what we did.
I love the look when the little boy, your son, asks you, "Did you ever kill anybody?"
Yeah, no, he's not my son. He's the kid I'm protecting.
Oh, okay, the protectant. So you're you have a bond. It's like you guys are son and dad and son right there. Yeah. But he asked you if you're, and you kind of, how do you answer that, right?
You can't.
How do you answer that without destroying his innocent soul? How do you answer that? That's you see that in your eyes. Man, 200 commercials did good for you.
It did. Well, you know, I'm studying also for, you know, even though I was not acting, I was still going to classes and things.
Right.
It's like everything. I talk to my buddies and they say, well, I don't book. And I say, are you taking class? Are you actually working out, you know, with your acting? And they're like, oh no, I'm too busy. And it's like, Can you imagine a boxer or any of the basketball players saying, no, I got it. I don't need to train.
You have to fight. If you're a fighter, boxing, MMA, whatever, you got to be training all the time. You take a few days off, a few weeks off to get your body a rest, but you're training. You're training. If you're working, if you're working, you're training all the time because otherwise you lose your edge. Olivier said in his only autobiography that he wrote himself, and I like autobiographies rather than somebody else writing the biography after they passed on or whatever. And what he said about acting is that if you're an actor, you're an artist. He called it an artist. If you're an artist, you have to be practicing your art all the time. So you might be booked on stage to play some Shakespearean role or Molière or Chekhov or something like that, and you might be doing a film or a commercial or something. When you're not doing that, then go out to the park and do a monologue. Right. Go out to the park with your paintbrush and your canvas and paint the waterfall. Go out, learn how to juggle, learn how to play an instrument that you've never played before, the flute, the guitar, whatever it is. Always be doing something towards your art form, towards your artistry, and do it in front of the public. Get out in the public and do it. And it doesn't matter whether you're good or bad. You're practicing the artistry in you, and that keeps you on your cutting edge all the time. If you're not doing that, then what are you doing?
You say you're an artist, but you're
not doing it. So you got to be doing it, whether you get paid or you don't get paid.
Exactly.
The money is irrelevant. You've got to do it again and keep doing it, and that's the key. That's what a lot of people don't understand that come to Hollywood. They want to make that big bucks and drive that Bugatti, right, and live in the PV in Palos Verdes next to Kobe, right up there, in the $20 million mansion. But that's not what it's about. If you're doing it for the money, you're doing it for all the wrong reasons.
Well, they want instant gratification. It's hard. It's funny that you're talking about the fighting. That guy that I'm fighting, I learned martial arts when I was young, and my teacher, he's a 10-degree black belt now.
Right.
He got a son, and his son, who's also a 4th degree black belt. He's the guy I'm fighting there.
Oh, great!
So we choreographed the fights together.
So you guys actually did the choreography?
Yeah, we had to. For the camera and everything. Right. But we shot that in half a day. I mean, you haven't seen the whole movie. There's a whole fight there in a cell, and we had to rehearse and practice, but we shot it in half a day. Normally that would be a week.
A good fight scene can take forever, like Atomic Blonde. That fight scene where there was one shot, the whole thing, all the way out till when they got in the car and were driving down the street, and there was one edit way down. It must have been like 5 minutes of film time. But that whole Atomic Blonde, that was the beauty of that fight scene. When they started, it was one camera being to the whole action and everything. Can you imagine? So the choreography of that has to be so precise.
Yeah.
And to be able to do that in a day's time, man, I've seen fight scenes go 3-4 days on a set before they get it right.
And then also we had to train. I trained for like 3 months.
Oh, yeah.
You're not in shape physically. You haven't trained in a long time. So, so you have to get back in.
Right, unless you have a double.
Yeah. No.
No, nobody could double this handsome man.
No, and we didn't want to do that. I mean, there was no budget for a double.
No, yes, that's right.
No, I wanted to do it.
Oh,
it's funny because I'm 57,
right?
And I don't care. And I took pride in the fact that a 57-year-old can still, kick and fight and all that. It's like
you're not 57.
I'm 57. So what's the big deal?
How do you stay in shape? Do you train every day? Do you work out? Do you eat less food? What is it that keeps you in good condition?
I don't drink. I don't smoke.
That's the key.
But
a toxic-free lifestyle.
Yeah. And I eat well. I eat healthy.
Right.
Stuff.
Not too much carbs.
Right. It's funny because I just went to Europe and we were eating pizza every single day and pasta. That's all they had.
What part of Europe did you go to?
We went to Paris, and Rome.
Italy. Come on. That's my background.
Barcelona.
Oh, yeah.
So that was
you got it. There's only 3 things to do in Europe: eat,
right? No,
eat,
in the croissants. I just love
real
croissants. Yeah, real. But they're different in
they
Paris
are.
than the ones in Barcelona.
Right.
And in Italy, they're different.
When you go to your European trip, there's only 3 things to do: eat, drink, and have a lot of sex, and that's it. And if you get a chance to see some architecture and some stuff like that, but that's it. That's all. You eat, drink, and have a lot of sex, right? And if you don't have a lot of sex, then you eat some more and you drink some more. That's what you do in Europe. That's about it.
Right.
So I'm not even going to ask you what you did.
Don't.
Okay.
Don't. I actually went with my boys. And
okay. So you ate, and you had a lot of Gatorade and a lot of water, right? And you saw the Coliseum, and you saw all the wonderful places. Yes, that's fun.
Basilica, everything.
Yes, absolutely, man. Yeah, you didn't know I was just going to be a smart ass this whole time, did you?
I just assumed that you would be. I don't know. Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, so that's the situation.
So that's very, 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 very cool. I want to play that again, Lee, at some point here before the end of the show. So just to let you know. So in your career, now you're still doing commercials, or have you primarily now gone into your corporation, Alta California, and you're making movies now? Is that the primary focus?
And do a second movie, and somehow I like action. I like action with a meaning,
right?
You know, not just action,
right?
Because I see a lot of action movies and I get bored, you know, because there's no content.
No.
So here I feel like
a lot of the big studios, they do the CNG stuff, you know, CGI stuff. I mean, and it's just explosions and it's action, but you've got the model in your head. You know how it's going to turn out, you know, and it's. But the independent production where there's a story, it's the story that counts, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like I was watching The Last of the Mohicans with Daniel Day-Lewis.
Oh.
And every time I watch that movie, it's like,
yes.
It just has everything.
It's
even the love scene, not the love scene, but you know, he's with Madeline Stone. She says something like, he's looking at her after they, he saved them.
Yeah.
And she's like, what are you looking at, sir? And he just looks back and he says, I'm looking at you, miss.
Yeah.
Like it's just like,
I love the line under the waterfall when they're coming. He said, "Stay alive. I will find you." Oh, yes, I will find you.
Right.
I mean, that just kills me every time. I love that line. No matter what, your job, stay alive. It doesn't matter how you stay alive. Just stay alive, and I will find you. And that is. And then he jump in, and the last part, and with his son, his dad, and his brother, and when they're running up the cliff, and they're fighting as they're running and loading the guns and the swords.
That was amazing.
Was that amazing? Yeah. And the music, it just was such a great movie. It was such, and the dad when his son was killed by this horrible person.
You shouldn't tell the audience.
Well, everybody knows the Mohicans. Okay.
They've seen it.
Yeah, that's been around for a long time.
And they read the book also.
Yeah, the book is actually better. It is.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
Okay.
So that's my point, that an action film could have a lot of meaning behind it, all the family values, all the romance, as opposed to just romance for a contrived romance.
Yeah.
Let's just have a couple there.
Yeah, that, and you're right there, as I said when we started, you're right there on the edge of this explosion that's taking place with distributors and wanting these films and finding that there's a marketplace for these films, that people will pay to go see them in the big theaters, and and one of the things that is interesting because of the change of the demographic of America over how it's come and how it's going to go over the next 25 to 50 years. One of the interesting things is the family structure, those ideas, those emotional qualities of love and anger, and I think are different with folks that are watching these films now. A lot of immigrant families and a lot of people that speak Spanish and English. The culture makes it more of an emotional attachment than what the typical American culture, we just want to see a bunch of explosions and buildings fall down. I think and that allows for more storytelling.
And that's the debate, because you talk about making a movie that's very commercial, or something with a little more meaning. So you still want people to watch your movie.
Right.
If you make it too artistic, and
right.
they're not going to watch it.
There's a fine line there.
How do you create that balance? And that's what we're trying to do here.
Yeah. Very, very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. So this is your first movie as an independent producer.
Yes. In the past, when I was younger, I used to promote singers, famous singers in Mexico City. Yeah, I ran a nightclub when I was 22. Really? I was the manager of this huge nightclub.
Wow.
It was called Magic Circus in Mexico, but we had an American
I've been in Mexico City.
And we had some of the...
Before they wouldn't let me back. Yeah.
That's right. We had Laura Branigan. I don't know if
you I know. Come
Branigan.
On. Of
Sylvester,
course. Yes. Come on.
I asked people, do you know Sylvester?
Yeah, I've been on the radio since I was 1974, so I know all those groups of the 70s and the early 80s. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. They were huge. All that music.
So that was my production. I also did martial arts tournaments, and I had a world championship for the heavyweight in Mexico City.
Did you really?
Yeah. So that was my experience as far as
I got
producing.
Benny Ukitis coming in here next week.
Benny the Jet.
Yeah, Benny taught me how to box when I was 6 years old.
Wow.
He's Benny's about 8 years older than I am. So he was already a champion, a young champion at the time.
He was really good.
His sister was actually really great.
His brother was he Blinky?
Rodriguez? Oh, that's Blinky Rodriguez. That's a family member. I've known Blinky for years. Yeah, Blinky's had a hard time.
Yeah,
Blinky's had a life that is really, it's a great story. Blinky, but Blinky's been around a long time, but of course Benny the Ukitis family, he was a great champion.
He was great. I just saw him on the street about like 6 months ago. I was with my sons, and we started talking about taking classes and the difference between jiu-jitsu and what he teaches. It was so cool to be talking to him.
Well, jiu-jitsu is a thing today. That's what it's at. For me, I don't want to go down on the ground with anybody.
That's what he said. He said, the concrete hurts.
It hurts.
And you want to be on the ground, it hurts.
And it gets
try not to be there.
No, also it hurts when his friends, the guy's friends start kicking you and you're on the ground. That hurts too.
Yeah.
And you don't get up. It's not like Hollywood. Right. So, I don't want to go on the ground. No, I want to be able to get through what I got to get through and then run.
Yeah.
Run! That's what I want to do, right? See, so I train. I've done a lot of the same stuff you've done, but I also train running. I run those Spartan races, those mountain climb races, and those OCR, obstacle course racing. Check it out. But I like to run, so I figure I can gas somebody out in about 200 feet. Yeah. They're gassed out.
Yeah, you're fit.
And and I'm still running. The only thing they're going to see is the crack of my butt going down there like a jackrabbit.
Going back to the butts.
That's right, man. Always got to go to them butts. Yeah. That's right. Oh, yes. A big butt. All right. So we've got this great movie. You packed up the Egyptian. Where can folks see it? Is it out in the theaters anywhere now?
No, not yet.
Limited showings or anything?
No, we're looking for a distributor.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, we had really good responses. A couple of people, big studios have, one, looked at it. We're in the process. Everything takes a long time.
Have you put the film in any of the festivals, the film festivals?
We just applied for a couple. Sundance.
Sundance is a good one. Yeah.
So,
AFM's coming up too.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'm going to see you out there?
Probably, yeah. We wanted to see first. That's why we haven't done it. We wanted to see if these distribution companies were interested first. Yeah. Before we went the festival route.
I want to see this movie. I can't wait.
I'll definitely invite you.
Is it on iTunes or anything yet?
I know the producer. I can hook you up.
Can you hook me up?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. Cool. Yeah. You know the producer?
Yeah.
Right. Can you ask the producer to give me $25?
No.
No, you won't do that?
I don't know him that well. Yeah. When it comes to money, people don't know you. Don't know you.
The producers
you want my son? Take my son.
Right?
Yeah. Money? No.
That's true, isn't it? The truth, man, when it comes to money in business. What, huh? Yeah, what? No money? What's that, huh?
Yeah. So, if we have another screening, I actually wanted to take it to Mexico because a lot of the most of these actors that you see in the trailer with their names, they're celebrities in Mexico.
So this could be a huge hit in Mexico.
It could be. It could be.
You shot it in Mexico.
You were
right?
talking. We shot it in Ensenada.
Yeah.
You were talking about Men on Fire.
Right.
Mario Zaragoza, who was one of the guys there, he was the guy with Denzel Washington. I don't know if you remember. There's
he got his fingers all cut off. And
that's Mario Zaragoza.
That's the brother.
He's a great actor.
What a great actor! That scene.
All these guys are so good. Juan Ignacio Aranda, he's really, really good. He's made a lot of movies in theater. He teaches.
In Mexico, is the film industry and distribution and the film business, does it run differently than here it does in America? Is it the same process? But I don't know too much about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
I don't know much about it.
Yeah.
I have somebody that's advising me.
But
so here in the States.
Yeah.
Because this gentleman has been around for many, many years, so he's giving us advice.
Because it's a huge entertainment is the industry that doesn't get suffered by any economic upturn or downturn. People always want to be entertained,
right?
And the product is once again, the story and the product are so important, and I think this would go real well. I don't know what people are interested in Mexico and Central America. I don't know what their taste is.
I was talking to somebody
other than
there.
American films that they get down.
Well, that's what I was
subtitles.
About to say. I was talking to somebody who's a distributor there, and he said most Mexicans are watching a lot of the big budget films,
right?
The Avengers,
the
Mission Impossible,
all
of those, they go
right.
to Mexico.
Well, I remember when Eric Estrada, and I've known Eric for years, and I remember when he got off of Chips and had a hard time getting work, and he went down to South America and had to learn how to speak Spanish. Yeah. And then he was in all those novellas and all that stuff.
In Mexico,
And Mexico too, and he worked for about a decade.
I think it was called something like Dos Mujeres en Camino, like two women. One way,
and Mr. Smiley. Yeah.
A big smile.
Big smile, right?
Yeah.
Nicest guy ever, though.
Is he still around?
Yeah, he's still around, and he's reignited his career, and because of those novellas that he did for a decade or maybe more, he has a market share in both English and Spanish now. And so, he completely reinvented himself, and that's what you got to do, don't you? At times, you have to reinvent yourself. But it's kind of scary. I mean, at 30 years old, to reinvent yourself and to start something new, there's a hesitation to it.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the keys. I mean, you're hesitant, you're afraid. It's like we're talking about real estate.
Right.
You buy a building, you buy a property, and you're afraid because it's a big project.
Right.
And then once you've been through all that, and after a couple of years, you're like, what was I afraid of?
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's right.
I think everything's like that. Just you got to take the first step.
So, in terms of your business here in America, so primarily a lot of it has to do with real estate development and real estate investment.
Different things. I'm a real entrepreneur.
So having diversity is really important.
I have a medical facility. I have a weight loss center. I have a banquet hall. I have real estate.
Right.
I have
different profit centers from different things.
Different things.
That's very good.
Yeah, you lose money in some. You
You're
make money
here,
in other.
You're making over here.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the nature of doing business. When people say, "Oh, you must be making so much because you have all these companies."
Right.
Well, some are making money. Some are losing money. It's normal. That's what people don't understand.
Yeah, you have to diversify today.
Yeah. It's
no longer you go to work at Warner Brothers for 51 years. That doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. Even with the big corporations, it doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah.
You have to, but that also gave you the opportunity, I'm sure, to be able to throw the dice and start a new career in the entertainment field because you had some support of economics behind you.
Right.
You weren't a starving actor living in, sharing a one-bedroom place with three guys.
Right.
Right. You didn't have to do that.
And I like to call the shots. Since I've been in business for so many years.
Yeah.
I like to make the decisions.
So you're basically what you're saying is you're just you're unemployable.
Well, yeah, unless they book me for a movie or something.
Then you become really
I'm
employable.
unemployable. Yeah, but yeah.
But I mean, unemployable.
Yeah, I do my
mean,
own.
Yeah,
my own
you
thing.
can't. You know, I've never worked for anybody.
Yeah.
You know, and so I to go to work for somebody is sort of. Yeah, I mean, in radio and stuff,
you have
work,
to do it, in the beginning.
Yeah, but it's just I could never go back now. It's so hard. I did apply at Walmart to be a store greeter the other day, so you know, I didn't get that job either.
Yeah,
I don't know why. You know,
I don't know.
You know you're unemployable when you go to Fatburger and they won't even hire you.
I've never been there. Is it that bad?
No, I was that bad.
Yeah. My boys love In-N-Out, so I don't know about
something about In-N-Out. I have a friend of mine who retired from In-N-Out about 5 years ago, and he was making $300,000 a year. In-N-Out pays their general managers. The guy who runs your favorite In-N-Out, he's making $150,000 right there. Now, if he's in charge of 2 or 3 stores in the local area, he's making $200,000-300,000 a year.
Regional manager.
Yeah. No, I mean, you can work yourself up. They start at $15, $18 an hour.
Yeah, I think my boys were telling me because I'm telling them you got to go and do some work, learn, and they're like, yeah, it's $15, but you have to have 6 months of experience to go to work at In-N-Out.
Oh, so you got to go to Carl's Jr.
Or Jack in the Box or whatever.
Right.
Or McDonald's, Welcome, may I take your order?
Or, look you can go to Chico's Taco Stand down by Sun Valley on the corner of Lancaster and San Fernando Road. That could get you some experience.
I don't know if that counts. Maybe.
You don't think that counts?
It has to be like a chain. I guess. I don't know. I'll do more research for next
Do some more research and let me know because I need a job too.
Yeah. Right?
Yes. I was thinking about that when you were talking about,
getting a job?
Yeah, getting a job. When you were talking about that and, your actors and your films and things like that, I was thinking, okay, yeah. I could work for him. Geez, just give me a scene running away from cops. I was really good at that when I was a kid.
That's what you said.
Yeah. So, I could run fast away from them.
I get people now asking me for a job.
Isn't that weird?
As an actor.
Is that weird?
Yeah.
What do you say?
Some ladies have told me, hey, Alex, I'm actually a really good actress. I haven't done much, but, can you keep me in mind, for your next movie?
Yeah.
And I don't mind reading them. I mean, if they, because you never know.
No, yeah.
Why are you going to say
be searching for talent?
Right.
Yeah. You got to always be searching for talent. And you never know where talent's going to come from. It just kind of arrives. So set up this trailer again for me. Talk a little bit about what we're going to see here. And this is a trailer for your brand new film that's getting ready to be distributed.
El Contratista, or The Contractor. It's in the trailer you're going to see when I'm running from something that happened in Iraq. And my team wants to go with me. They're like, we're not staying without you. So that's kind of nice. You can see the friendship, that the togetherness. Something else that's interesting. It's like Latinos. Sometimes Latinos fight here, different nationalities. Well, I'm, Puerto Rican, I'm Mexican. It's like, but there in Iraq, since they were all Latinos, they created a bond.
Yes.
So now it's not like one. Oh, because they're all Cuban, Puerto Rican.
All
they have
different flavors,
different nationalities.
Right.
Yeah, the movie was going to be called The Internationals initially, but it was a lighter movie, and then it became a.
I like the way you name it now.
Contratista, I like that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's check out the trailer right here.
Let's see what we have.
That's one? That's one, huh?
Let him go.
I said get back to your post, wet bat!
Mi conciencia no me permite continuar aquí.
Cano, si tú no te quedas, nosotros tampoco.
¿Y si tienes un lugar así violento y jodido para unos malandros así como estos?
¿Qué te parece México?
El niño perdió a toda su familia. Como le comenté, ha sido muy difícil para él.
Alguien quiere deshacerse del niño.
Los entrenamos para matar. Los entrenamos para morir sin que se dieran cuenta.
Pobre niño, no socializa mucho.
¿Has matado a alguien?
¿Usted se cree capaz de juzgar a esta gente? Yo no.
Te lavan el cerebro con falsos discursos de amor a la patria.
El cártel nos tiene aquí acorralados.
Tengo amigos en el gobierno. Si quieren les hablo, que nos apoyen.
Eso ya no sirve de nada a esta altura.
¿Vas a matar a más malos?
Cúbrense, cúbrenos.
¿Por qué vienen todos vestidos como que van a la guerra?
Acabamos de regresar de una.
¡Erasmo!
Hey, what a great movie. That is terrific. You got some martial arts in there. You have a martial arts background.
Yeah, I was a black belt when I was about 17.
Yeah. Right.
And then I had to, train a little bit, to do the film.
Just get in
to
shape.
To get in shape. That kick that you just saw,
right.
We just had a one shot, and fortunately it worked really well. It's really interesting because, like I was telling you, the son of my old teacher, he's right there. So when I throw that kick, you can see the light coming through, and that's because he was against the door, and the door broke.
Oh,
came up. Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Man.
What we did is I threw the kick, I jumped, and he put a pad right here, so
right.
we could actually kick. But the kick was so strong that it went right. Yeah, it broke the door off the hinges.
That was unexpected.
It was an unexpected, beautiful moment because you see the light bathing me, when I'm throwing the kick.
Sure.
And then of course they had to fix the door. And
yes, of course, right.
Do another, That's the,
yes.
the punches. And
yes, absolutely, man.
It's great.
It's terrific. So it's got a little piece of everything in this film.
Yeah.
And is there any place online that anybody can pay to watch it yet, or
not
anything?
Not yet.
Are you going to go that angle as well?
Yeah, but not yet.
Okay.
Again, we want to distribute. We want to find a distributor
first.
Yeah, first.
And let them handle that.
Yeah, I'm patient.
Right.
It's like everything I know.
How long have you been getting ready to do this project? How long did this take from beginning, meeting, getting the script, and to what we have today?
I think I got the script March, April of 2016, and by August we were shooting. It took us about 3 months of pre-production, 4 months.
Very cool.
And then the movie was ready right away, but it was almost 2.5 hours.
Right.
So we had to do some cutting. So now it's
the hardest thing to do is cutting.
Yeah, there were a lot of funny scenes, great scenes that changed the tone of the movie.
Sure, the hardest thing to do is to cut something that you've done.
Right.
That's why you almost have to just let the editor that you hire and the director just kind of do their thing, because if you get involved in it, it's like no.
Well, the editor is the writer. The director and the editor is the same person.
Then he has
a few friends, just to get all is to sell this movie, recover some of the money, obviously.
Right.
And then but even before that, I was talking to the director a couple of days ago, and I want to do another film.
Right.
I want to do a little higher budget.
Right.
Use some of the same people, and get other people that are celebrities as well.
Action film.
Action.
I think that's kind of going to be your natural thing.
Yeah. I have a friend who watched the movie.
Mm-hmm.
He's a writer, very well known writer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say his name.
It's all right.
Josh Griffith.
And we won't say Josh Griffith.
Josh Griffith.
Could it be Josh
cool
Griffith?
Guy.
I mean, I'm clairvoyant. Griffith.
And he said
Josh Griffith, right?
Josh Griffith.
Yeah. We won't say his name.
He has a bunch of books.
We can't say his name.
He was writing
Josh.
for
We're not going to say your name, Josh.
Soaps.
No.
He was the head writer.
Promise you,
soaps.
I won't say your name.
Yes. Don't, Josh.
Okay, I won't.
Josh is a good friend for 30 years. And I think he wrote in the email something like, it's an action film with a conscience.
Oh, and
I love that. I think that's what he said. And if not, it was something like that.
Well, that could be your niche.
Right.
Because
an action movie with a conscience.
Yeah, because when you're trying to answer the question to the little boy there, you have a conscience.
Right.
Some of these movies, these anti-heroes or heroes, they don't have any conscience.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
He's
that's what we
sick
loved
and
about
tired
Man
of
of Fire.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that Denzel Washington's character, which was a true story, with some dramatic license, but he had a conscience.
Yeah.
And in his whole life, he never had a conscience before.
Right.
And that's you.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways there.
It's funny that you identify with the same character, that way.
Absolutely.
People have told us that.
Yeah.
They also have told me it looks like a Western,
Yeah. Well, Westerns were the greatest movies ever made because they were so simple and the story was so easy. And there's a good guy and a bad guy, and the good guy always wins at the end. I mean, when my grandfather was at Warner Brothers for 51 years, he got hooked up with the John Wayne clan. He was part of that clan, and as well as everybody else. But they were making 600 Westerns a year.
600.
Yeah, 1938 and 1942, they were making 600 Westerns a year out of the Warner Brothers lot. That's when the Forest Lawn wasn't there. The cement river wasn't there. There was an actual river, and there was an actual. That's where they shot all that stuff. So, yeah, I mean, so Westerns. That's why people
crazy.
like.
How do you make 600
I don't know.
movies?
That was just
how many
Warner
do you
Brothers.
release? I mean,
that was just because they owned all their theaters. You see, that's what the studio system was. When you go down Hollywood Boulevard and you see the Pacific Theater, that was Warner Brothers theater on Hollywood Boulevard. And that theater rivaled the Pantages and the Chinese inside. I remember as a kid going into that theater when it was open. It's closed now because they ran the subway under there, and then the earthquake happened, and it needs to be retrofitted. But anyhow, that was the original landmark theater for Warner Brothers. That was owned by Warner Brothers, and that's where they debuted all their big. And they had theaters like that in all the cities, all the major, and that's what the breakup was of the studio system. Is they broke up the theaters because it was an illegal monopoly. They said.
Yeah.
So that's how they were able to distribute. They didn't have to worry about distribution. They had it. They had right 1,300 theaters.
Well, that's the next thing to do. To get a chain of theaters.
Well, I have in Fresno. At the Broadway Fair, I have a piece of property for sale with anchored by United Artists, Movieplex, or Cineplex, United Artists Theater, right? With Red Robin Restaurant, National, and a Buffalo Hot Wings, Hot Wings, or whatever, Buffalo Wings.
It's called Buffalo
right?
Wings.
I have that for sale for $9.8 million, 11.73 cap on it. We need to talk.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. You could have 16 theaters at your disposal.
Oh, well, that's the idea. Now we're talking,
I'm going to get
Jesse.
my $25 from you some way or another.
One way or another. I'll buy you a coffee. That's how much they are these days.
That's right.
$25 for a coffee and a muffin. Yeah.
Alejandro de Hoyos.
Yeah,
I got it right.
Alejandro de Hoyos.
I like that name, man. I like it a lot. A great movie. Go check it out when it gets out into distribution. You can check it out on our podcast right now. The trailer is up in our podcast on YouTube channel, Jesse Terrero, Instagram Live, and all our Facebook channels. So they're podcasting right now as the show ends. So check it out there. And anybody who wants to get in touch with you and be a fan and follow you, how can they do that?
Well, there's Facebook, the Fuero Contratista,
okay, so they can just kind of put Contratista in there?
Contratista-movie.com, and it has all the information. And Contratista-movie.com.
Absolutely.
It has the trailer. It has all the information about all the actors, everything.
Absolutely. So keep in touch with Alejandro. This guy's going to have a huge career. I predict it. After 200 commercials, he's certainly cut his teeth, man. That's for sure. And great job in the trailer. Appreciate you coming in, having a good time, and putting up with me.
No, I had a great time. I had a great time with you, Jesse.
All right, guys, we're out of here. The Brown Beauty's off duty, and we'll see ya. Take care. See ya.